Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I will be comparing this new oud Yusuf by Ensar oud with the original formulation. The friend that I got this sample from, he sold his original oud Yusuf bottle the same day he got it. And I asked him, well, why did you do that? And he said, well, this barbecue party is not for me. I think that's an excellent spot to start this review. Maybe beforehand, I would like to mention that this won't be a very negative review. This won't be a very positive review. This will be the middle of the road review, as middle of the road it can get. As you can see, I have a small partial bottle of the new version. I enjoy it enough to keep it, but after this bottle completely runs out, I don't think I will be repurchasing it. Okay, now back to the barbecue part. The opening of the original Musk Yousef, and I have it here. Yeah, this is the new one. No, this is the old one, and this is the new one. The opening of the original Musk Yousef, it has this very spicy metallic feel. How I described this opening to my friend, I use his barbecue analogy. But to me, the opening of original Musk Yousef is like, imagine you have a grill you have used hundreds of times, so it has some burnt fat on the grill. But now, it's not July or June, but it's autumn, and it's been raining for 3 weeks. And you forgot to cover the lid of said grill. Now you come to the described grill and you smell it. For me, that is opening of the original Musk Yousef. It is metallic. It has some barbecue type smell. It has this wet metal combined with burnt ash type of feel. I assure you that it does not smell as bad as it sounds, but that is what I get. After maybe few hours, maybe 1 hour, let's not be dramatic, probably 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours, this metallic feel stays throughout, but the burn fat and wet, humid type of feeling for the fragrance, it disappears. We are introduced to some floral notes, mainly frangipani. I don't know actually a lot of Ensar fragrances that would use frangipani, so for the first time when I noticed the note, my mind immediately ran to Bortnikov, because frangipani is the note that I associate with Bortnikov. If we want to compare opening from the original Musk Yousef with the new Musk Yousef, we have differences in terms of that metallic type of feel is somewhat gone. It is replaced by an insane amount and intensity of spices. I'm not sure what kind of spice it is. It smells to me like a Middle Eastern type of spice. But from what I saw on Parfumo, many people didn't like the spiciness of the new Musk Yousef. I heard from my frag friends that one of them doesn't even see the similarities between the new and old Musk Yousef at all. I see those similarities, although the behavior of the scent between the old and the new is different, admittedly. One thing I can give the old Musk Yusuf compared to the new is the smoothness of the blend. Old Musk Yusuf smells extremely smooth, and it kinda slides into your nose. While the new Musk Yusuf, due to the insane amounts of copious spices, when I smell Musk Yusuf, the new version, I feel some sort of resistance smelling it. I don't know how to convey that in words, but when I smell the old one, it's like, when I smell the new one, it's like, I don't know if that's a useful explanation, but the smoothness of the blend is completely different. Let's put it that way. Also, the main similarity between these two versions, I get it in a strange way. When you smell opening of both, they seem different, quite a lot different actually. But when you put the bottle down, somewhere here in your nose, the lingering smell that stays with you, and given that this is a musk fragrance, it is extremely potent, it leaves the same impression. So even though you just smelled different things, one of them being insanely spicy and another one being insanely metallic, at the end of the sniffing session, let's say, you are left with a very similar impression. So overall, I could probably blindly guess that these both are just Musk Yusuf, but at the same time, I would more like to call the orange guy here a flanker than a recreation of the original formula. Now let's go to the elephant in the room. How about the Yousef? In particular, can I detect the oud Yousef in these compositions? Because if we look at the lore of the scent, it basically was created to infuse the fragrance, infamous fragrance of Ensar oud Yousef, with musk, and on paper that sounds amazing. In reality, and I have smelled oud Yousef, the oud, and oud Yousef, the fragrance before. I think that's important to mention. In reality, I would take the composition of oud Yousef over Musk Yousef almost any day. From what I can pick up, I don't believe that the same amount, let's say, of original oud Yousef oud oil was used in this fragrance, even if we talk the original one, compared to the simply oud Yousef perfume as it is. So the main star of the show is not present enough, at least for me, to detect and to enjoy fully compared to the perfume of oud Yousef. This is a very confusing review, I imagine, because the names are very similar and I repeat them. And if I would drink 50 grams of vodka every time I say Yousef, I would probably be drunk by 5th minute of this review. So please bear with me if you're interested in this. I think you will get through. If you're not, you're just watching it for having nothing to watch. Probably not the best review for that case. Anyways, back to the review. Both Musk Yousefs and oud Yousef share this idea of bright, somewhat orange and that spicy implementation of oud, and in this case musk. In my opinion, oud Yousef strikes the best balance of this goal. Musk Yousef original is somewhere in between. I think if the wet metallic note would be more under control, it could have been a better creation. I think at this time, when Ensar was creating Musk Yousef, he probably experimented quite heavily. And I applaud him for that. I'd rather him experiment than playing in the safe zone all the time. But for me personally, I'm not sure the experiments in this case completely worked. And in the new version of Musk Yousef, it feels like a little bit of an overkill on basically all the fronts. The spices that are here, they are overdosed. In my opinion, they overshadow many other facets of the composition. The frangipani here is a lot more visible than in the old version. And for me personally, because I am deeply in love with the floral note of frangipani, this is a saving grace for this perfume. That's the main reason why I keep it. I immensely love frangipani, so the overdose of this flower here is a plus to me, but it's an overdose of said frangipani nonetheless. So if a person is not as in love with this note as I am, it might be also a negative. Musk here is strong, it is noticeable, but due to the spices, it's not pleasant, at least not for me. Frangipani tries to solve this problem, and it kinda does, especially in the dry down. I enjoy Musk Yousef the most in the dry down, because at that point it reaches its, let's say, the most well-roundedness and smoothness. But then we arrive to a, I guess, final problem. Compared to Oud Yousef and original Musk Yousef, this new Musk Yousef, goddammit, Yousefs everywhere, is not well-performing fragrance, at least not on my skin. When you get the first blast of those insanely strong spices, my first thought was like, this is gonna be beast mode. It's gonna last 20 hours and stuff like that. It will kill people around me. But in reality, as soon as the spices fade, the perfume kinda dies down. By the time the frangipani arrives, it clearly, at least for my nose, clearly lacks lift. So it kinda doesn't have this middle road between beast mode opening and quite dead dry down. It goes like this: insane cloud of spices you almost can't take, and down to skin scent of frangipani, musk, and I guess a little bit of oud. Of this Yousef line, in my opinion, Oud Yousef is a star because of the oud, and I mean the original 2011 batch. And if we remove the said oud from the composition of Oud Yousef, we get average Ensar, let's put it that way. Because in this even original Musk Yousef, not to mention the new one, the amount of Yousef oud is reduced in here, and probably not even the same Oud Yousef from 2011 was even used in here. These two fragrances, for me personally, lose a lot of value. It loses a lot of power that the name carries. Probably most of us know that Oud Yousef is one of the most famous starter ouds from Ensar. And me personally, I can't recommend any version of Musk Yousef freely, because even though for myself, this version I would probably give it 7 to 8 out of 10, more than maybe 8, because I want to keep it, but I feel like the things it does right, it hits my taste perfectly. I love frangipani. I immensely enjoy musk. I love bright floral, not citrusy fragrances. I don't mind most of the spiciness. I can survive them unless it's like crazy spicy, like Chungo Moscow, I think, from Ensar Wood. That one I couldn't bear. So I feel like if you're old enough, you know the game on old Windows, Mineswiper. I feel like this fragrance, it has a lot of mines, but it managed to avoid most of them according to my taste. So for my personal taste, this is a good fragrance. I said I won't replenish this when it is gone, but I enjoyed it while it lasted. But as an objective reviewer, person you come to for facts, I guess, and opinions based on as objective facts as I can convey, I can't recommend this fragrance to many. If you don't mind spices, if you are in love with the note of frangipani, if you are not, let's say, betting all your cards on monster performance, this can be a very nice scent to yourself, for meditation or stuff like that. But as a everyday fragrance, as a fragrance for special occasions or anything like that, I can't recommend this, simply because the opening is too offensive, too aggressive, and the dry down is too tame. So yeah, this was my review. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.